Welcome our viewers wherever you are watching us from. This is Gumzo na SK na karibuni sana. Wenye wako US tunawatambua sana, wenye wako UK tunawapenda sana, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, yani hata tuwezi maliza kuwatambua, lakini always remember we love you so much. Kwa wageni wetu ambao wanatujoin, karibuni sana to the KDM family. Kindly continue to subscribe na uende pale chini ujoin and God will bless you. Leo niko na mgeni anaitwa Redia. Na nimesikiliza Redia, you know. Anakaa tu sister yangu, hata ukimwangalia tu hivi I think baba alitembea mahali akatukoroga tu hivi lakini hatutaongea na hatutauliza kitu. Na akona historia
accepted, move on.
Yeah. Akona historia mzuri sana. You know, I was thinking like kuishi kwa abusive marriage ni kawaida. Na uwaga tunaambiwa ya kwamba wanawake wakipata pesa uwaga wanalinga na uwezo waambia kitu. Lakini kwa Redia it's another story. Juu alikuwa na pesa, ni yeye ameweka huyu mtu, ni yeye ana provide kila kitu. Lakini my dear, alikuwa anatandikwa ile mbaya. Hata alikuwa na nyahunyo kwa nyumba. Kama hali pale, ili tusikilize Redia atuambie historia yake imekuwa namna gani, ama life history yake iko namna gani. My sister Redia.
Yeah, thank you.
Sister from another mother.
Yeah.
Same father.
Oh really?
Karibu sana.
Yeah.
Uangalie ile kamera utuambie majina yako, aswara umetoka wapi?
Yeah, I'm Lydia Wangoi Maina, born in Western, brought up in Western, went to school in Western, worked my early days in Western, then came to Nairobi. So I do printing and branding in Nairobi. I'm a mother. I have 4 children. Firstborn is 25, 17, 13 and 7.
Western?
Yes, we were brought up in Western, born in Western actually.
Born in Western?
Yes.
Na hiyo weupe wote?
Yes.
Watu wa Western hero. Unajua watu wa Western wameishi kutupigia kelele hapa eti Kenya diaspora uwaga sisi ni watu wa Kikuyu tu aterere.
No, but I'm a Kikuyu, brought up in Western. My parents are Kikuyu. From where?
Lakini unajua ile lugha ya?
Yes, in fact home we speak Maragoli. We speak Maragoli. We don't speak any other language. Our parents hawakutufundisha Kikuyu. So Kikuyu ni ile moja hapa pale kuokotea, but at least I understand Kikuyu, and even when I go home I do Kikuyu. They come from where? Kirinyaga.
Maisha ilikuwa namna gani? Wewe ni Mkikuyu na unalelewa katikati ya
It was home. In fact, nini Western is home. Because you know mmezaliwa na watoto wengine mmeenda nursery, primary, high school, work together. When I'm in Western I'm home. Yes, because some of my siblings are there.
So now maisha imekuwa namna gani?
Maisha imekuwa ijakuwa vile rahisi, but I thank God, glory to God, because God is always faithful. It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter the process, but then the final thing determines what life will be, and are all about mindset. Are you ready to come out of this? Are you ready to make a life? Because God has given us the opportunity, but how using this opportunity? Yeah, just immediately after high school, I was not a jumpy girl. I was just a very good girl to my parents. You know, kuna zile high school kusumbuana hapa na pale. So I thank God I just bumped into this man who had visited in Western. This was my first love. And I had never, unajua kuna ile kupushia primary, nini, high school, but to me, we did, you know, apart from kuandikiana barua high, you know, like that. So this man, I got married. I didn't get married really. We got a relationship. I finished school 1994. 95 nikapata mimba. For my firstborn. So my firstborn comes 96 August. But again, you see, sometimes we tend to overlook the red flags. The red flags were there from day one. Because for one, even as meeting, he had come to visit another lady. But because now I fell in love and I was a young girl, right? Because I just came to realize that actually why I'm even airing this story is just to educate people to know and not overlook the red flags in relationships. So I've done my research and then nikakuja nikajua this guy is a narcissist. Narcissist is a personality disorder. So this person, I was a victim, but I didn't know. Ujue siku zetu will not sit down tuongee juu ya daughter, mother, relationship. Ilikuwa ni wewe upate na utoke uende. And we knew ukizaa mtoto, we ushaolewa. So for me, nilikuwa najua nishapata mimba. I remember this time I went and I was pregnant. And when I went to tell him I'm pregnant, I found another lady there, anaenda kuintroduciwa kwao. You see, that was already another red flag. But I was like, I'm a fighter. I'll fight for this.
So ulipata msichana mwingine?
Msichana mwingine.
Ako na mimba ya huyu?
Ana mimba. Yeye anaenda introduction. Mimi ameniacha. And actually we slept in the same house. In a different room.
Na ulijua?
Kujua aje?
Ulijua mko kimoja? Ni vile mmekuja tu introduction.
Hapana, si tumekutana kwa nyumba sisi wote. Si mimi nimekuja kuripoti niko na mimba. Na yeye ako with another lady anampeleka kwa ushago introduction. You see now that was a red flag also.
Yeah.
But I overlooked it. Akaniacha hapo na ipeleka the other lady. Na mimi nikatafuta fare yangu, I came back home. And I was even afraid to tell my mother I was expecting. But my auntie somehow noticed and told my mom. So my mom sat me this evening and told me, Lydia, I know what is happening. Do you know the owner of the pregnancy? Nikamwambia yes. And then my mom told me, by the mtoto ni baraka. Kama atakubali ni sawa, asipokubali mtoto ni baraka. So that was consoling. You know, at least my mom didn't tell me to abort or something like that. So nikalea the pregnancy. But then kulea
how comes your mother was so cool? Na vile wazazi walikuwa tough.
Imagine my mom is not a noisy person. My mom is that mother that hata akikuongelesha my mom, I don't know, my mom is so loving and so yani my mom sijui naweza mdescribe. Mamangu alikuwa mtu wa makelele. Maybe tukigrow up hiyo kuchapwa nini na nini, but you see it's also shock. My first one has just finished school na ako pregnant. And you see our mama hakujonga stories za abortion. So hakuna vile nifikiria or something like that. And then so this guy uzuri now I got to work with the Minister of Office of the President. Sasa nikakuwa niko na kazi yangu. So that was consoling. Now this guy, we kept on that relationship when I'm expecting. But when I'm expecting, mimi ndio naenda kumuona out of, he was in Nakuru County. Mimi ndio naenda kumuona using my own fare. And probably going to that house using my own money. And maybe naweza enda hiyo weekend on a Friday, nimeomba off, naenda na weekend tukue na yeye. He leaves that Friday and he comes on a Sunday evening or Monday morning when I'm leaving. You see, that was also a red flag that I overlooked. But in my mind, ndio baba mtoto. There's nothing I can do. And nilijua, ukishapata mimba huyo ndo baba mtoto, huyo ndo mtaishi na yeye. I gave the time ya kuzaa ikafika, nikazalia mtoto kwetu home. Kuzalia kwetu mtoto home, nikatafuta jina. He gave me a name. But something
baba mtoto ni alipeana jina.
Ndiye alipeana jina. But something that was really interesting this time, the father passed on, I think within that week. So simi na prepare niende matanga. Do you know what he told me? It's not good to go there without being formally introduced and during the funeral. And I bought the lie. Because I came to realize on the family was like, why didn't you come during that time? You get? So he never gave me an opportunity to go even with my daughter to bury the father. Life began.
Wewe ulipotuambiwa hivyo ukaingiza uoga na
kwenda. Si kuingiza uoga, si baba mtoto ananiambia. Remember where I'm coming from. Na ni kwao. And then there's a prominent family. So I didn't want really to push, you know. There's that aspect, is the father of my kid. Then the family, you know, the way ameiweka. You know, let's create just another day that we can go. So simi nikalea mtoto. By then I was living alone. And I remember during that time in 8 years, I think he came twice or thrice just to visit us where we are staying. But most of the time mimi nilikuwa napanda gari naenda. Na hii kwenda, it's not that he's giving me fare. It's not that he's feeding me with this baby. I'm in love. Stupidly in love.
Nini nilikuwa inakuvuta kwake?
What really? You remember this was my first love. They call it infatuation.
I think so. Me, I don't
And then, I think that's when this abuse just started. He might not have realized, and of course, I don't think even now he has realized, he was a narcissist. Narcissists are takers. They're not givers. You are their full-time employee. Remember, this person is employed. He lives in a house that is being cut on the payslip, water and everything else. So he has all that it takes. But again, he never used even to provide for me with this small baby. Ujue nitatoka Friday ama Thursday niombe off naenda kuona mzee Nairobi. Huyu mzee hata kuwa na sisi over the weekend. He'll go drinking, he'll go partying, and for me it's okay. Mimi ndio mke nyumbani.
Uko sawa tu hata ukiacha.
Niko sawa. Sasa how do you know? You know, that's why I came to tell somebody, never judge a woman who is in an abusive relationship.
Na utamuuliza anything.
Unauliza aje na utapigwa na mtu ashaka ukali kwa kuna muuliza nini? He has control over you. He has control over you. He knows you are his victim.
Na alikuwa anafanya kazi gani yeye mwenyewe?
He was just working with the Ministry of Telecommunication.
So hata yako na kazi mzuri.
Alikuwa na kazi mzuri sana. Alikuwa na kazi mzuri sana. But I remember the only clothes he bought this baby, it's I think wakati nilizaa mtoto. I think there were about 1,000, 2,000, that was that. It's just a few clothes that were brought in a paper bag. But thereafter, nothing.
And you were okay?
I was so okay. Wow. You know, those days, we didn't have watu wakubwa wa kukudirect. We didn't have people you'll talk to. You see, until this time, I'm not even able to sense there's something wrong. I'm so okay. Yeah. So we grew up, naenda na visit, narudi, naenda na visit, narudi. Sometimes I would go, he beats me, I'll go back crying in a matatu. I'll go to Nakuru, get a matatu, and just go home crying. One day a passenger told me, Mama, ni nini? Because I'm feeling I'm heartbroken. This person is not supporting me. This person is not giving me even money. Because ujua hata nikienda hiyo 3-4 days, mi ndio nakaa kwa nyumba peke yangu na mtoto. I would even take leave.
Atakuchapa mbele ya mtoto?
Yes. And ujue all this time, my parents never knew what I was going through.
And at this time, how old is the kid wakati anafanya hivyo?
He started immediately. Because my daughter then, by then it was about, by the time we were staying together, she was about 8 years, back and forth. He was staying with us because I was retrenched, then I moved to Nairobi. I started staying in Jericho. Nikaanza kuishi kwa nyumba za mabati, hizo mamoroto. Nikaanza kuishi kwa nyumba za one room. Come and see. I got pregnant again with my second born.
With the same man?
Yes. When I got pregnant with the second born, sasa ikakuwa now because sasa mtoto ako karibu kuzaliwa, I'll leave my sister with the girl, niende na, because mtoto lazima tumtafutie shule. Because at this time, we are so broke, him is so broke, his payslip has nothing. So I have to leave my sister with my kid, niende nizalie Gilgil. So I go to Gilgil. This time nimejifanyia shopping, kila kitu ya kwenda kuza. You know, I'm very good at mtumba. And problem has a way of introducing you to how you can live well. Nimefanya shopping, nini na nini. I remember going to Gilgil, nilikuwa nimeenda na hizi Nigeria bags. The things I had, manguo zangu na kila kitu nilihama na Nigeria bags. Nimepack vitu zile naweza. So I moved to his workplace. Moving to his workplace, sinikaza. And I know hospitali ya Hosi, it was not more than 1,000. Those days, the easy district hospitals. Nikaza. I think alinisaidia tu kupika na kuosha within 2 weeks. The third week he was like, my friend, utajioshea. I cannot keep taking care of you. Unalala tu kwa nyumba. So I remember a neighbor, a house girl, ndiye alikuwa anakuja kunioshea.
Neighbor.
And I'm so sorry, I'm sure the lady just, because the house girl was very mature, akamwambia acha nenda nisaidie Mama Tracy. Within that same month, I think the fourth week, I was sent to his home. Because you see, right now, I'm in convenience, I've just moved in Nimeza, so unajua hata have fun. Akantuma kwao home. Ushago kwa mamake.
Na sana kutuma ushago, alikupeleka ukajulikana juu siku ya mazishi umetuambia
alikufukuza. Okay, kupeleka the way I introduced myself to their home, it was just by the way my sister was there, ikawa my sister is there, so my sister had their name na akajua hii familia, so my sister akaniambia come visit. So when I visit, I happened to go to their home minus him. So niliintroduciwa kwake when he was not there. That's when I was having this first born.
And how was the family?
The family is good. The family is good. You know, nobody wants their son not to settle. And you see, given that I was this young girl and I really ready to settle, I mean, I bet I was the best. among maybe the other ladies that he had. Na mimi nikafurahia nimeshinda, the family many embrace, I have their child, and no family wants their children out of their lives. So when I went home, aliniweka tu kwa gari, and I remember he gave me 1,000. I'm having these 2 children. Kufika home, si ati niko na shopping, si ati nimeenda na shopping. I remember one of the sisters would have issues. When I just home, it's like, Lydia amekuja na nini. So I don't know whether they believed napatiwa pesa. Na I don't do shopping. Because I remember he gave me even me a letter to take to the sister. Mwenye atanipatia fare back to Nairobi. Remember in this society, when you give birth, kuna vile unachinjiwangwa.
Na unapikiwa vizuri.
Nunapikiwa. To me, nothing happened. And I don't blame them. The person who had introduced me to this family never showed them how I'm supposed to be treated. And no wonder people end up being abused with the whole family. Because already the person who is introducing you to this family, already shawonisha the way of abuse. You are not valuable. You are not of any value. So they will treat you. In fact, the other day I was making fun with somebody. Kwani watu wenye uchinjiwa ukuwa wamefanya nini ndio wachinjiwe? You know, because I have children, 4 children down the line. Nobody has ever. But again, I came to understand the person who introduced me to this family never showed them my value. Remember, even with these 4 children, he has never come home. He has never introduced himself officially that I have your daughter and have these children. Narcissists, they never want, they'll how do I put it? Hawagharamikangi, they are the takers and not the givers. Narcissists never feel you're a human being. And no wonder this person all through, he will beat me. Mpaka at some point, alikuwa na nyaunyo kwa nyumba. Ask me reasons why. Because one day, I remember my son was 3-4 years. So, and he was beating me. So my son came, wachana na mami. To date, I remember the slaps that boy was given.
By his own father.
His own father. You know, for a baby to find you fighting, it's sensitive enough for you to stop it. And just even pretend.
Hajawai.
He has never. My 2 children know abuse very well. Somebody was asking me, why are you talking about this? Don't you think you are making your children go through trauma? The same children, they're the ones we discussed. Let's discuss. This is a condition. It's a personality disorder that these people either may accept when they realize they have or not. But again, these people forget. These same children have gone through abuse. They need to do therapy. And the way I talk, the more I talk about it, the more I get to heal, and the more I help other people even to overlook the red flags. Let somebody not judge a woman, aseme that this lady or this woman is so stupid to have been in that marriage that long. The reasons that are keeping these women there, they never make sense to you, because you find mostly unasema, I'm stuck there because of the babies. But in my case, this person was not even supporting me. He does not go to school clinics. He has never been paying rent. If anything, he has been on my budget. You see, now I had every other reason to move out. But again, I was like, I'm the firstborn from my home. How do I move out of this marriage? I mean, I just want to walk down the aisle. I just want to be married. I just want my children to be the babies. And every woman that has left marriage, never judge. Because there's no woman who has never tried to work it out. There's no woman who'd love or who loves to raise the children by themselves. They have tried. The difference comes when how has this marriage made you become into a character development, or rather the whatever the experience, has it helped you? Has it been positive or negative on you? Because kuna wale who are drunkards sahi, anangojianga tu chupa akunywe na leo watoto, and there are others who are even just in prostitution. Never judge them. It's only that they took the wrong decision. For me, I decided I'll do and honor my God to live a Christian life, because I have these children. These children are a generation. It's not that my part, what legacy would I leave? for my children. When this daughter of mine, of my son, does something wrong, what reference will I be having? I have a daughter, anytime, any now, you can tell me, Mom, there's somebody. So what kind of a man would want to find my daughter? The woman in her. You get the point? So for me, it was like, God, I know you'll help me. And for real, God has been so faithful. We've never lacked. We've never been thrown out of house. We've had our own challenges, but at the end of the day, God comes through for us. Let's go back to the story. I get my second born, and we live in Gilgil all that time. Then this person gets retrenched. So when he's retrenched, he disappears on me. And this time, I've been doing hawking. I thank God I was getting support from the sister from across the border. He brings me things. I go hawk. Nilikuwa na hawk. And because they were living in kind of an estate, na hawk usiku. Nangoja watu wakiwa kwa nyumba, naenda usiku na hawk na mtoto nikiwaachia vitu. Na nikiandika chini. So end of the month, nangoja pesa zangu napatiwa. Then I sent, naletewa zingine tena. I remember at some point I would sell mabuyu. Nakuja Isili, natengeneza mabuyu. And one day I got pissed off. Nilipatizo mbegu za mabuyu, niunga mabuyu ametupa nje. But I was like, do you know, as much as it's 10 shillings, I was selling the mabuyus. But they'll buy me a meal in that house. So I would hawk. And I remember this fact. It makes me laugh. Because one of this time, he's retrenched. And when he's retrenched, he's all over. So there's a lady we are doing business with. Ya kupeleka kutoa mananazi na Kericho tukileta Nakuru na Gilgil tukiuza. Because lori ilikuwa yake. So this lady, I meet the drivers. So I'm like, where's my friend? I said, your friend, ako sawa, analima, nini na nini. Lakini amepata kamjamaa hapa. Ako kamjamaa, wako mbele. So I'm asking, kamjamaa kanaitwa nani? Guess who they say? They mention his name. I laugh. Yani nacheka mpaka nitaka kuokotwa. So these people are like, why are you laughing? I'm like, that is the father of my children.
Ndio kamjamaa.
Walishtuka. This is my friend, somebody I didn't expect. This somebody was married. So narcissists, they look for another victim who is maybe younger or richer, so long as you can give narcissistic supply. Narcissistic supply is what makes them comfortable. Am I able to get this life? Am I able to be entertained more drinking? Because remember this person all this time, when I get money, because I don't want this man to get out of the house, I'll buy him cigarettes, I'll buy him drinks in the house. Ndiye asiende. I'm trying my best to make this person be around. But this time, remember, he has money. And this other lady has money, wamekuwa retrenched wote. So mimi, do I have anything to offer?
No.
Nothing. And remember, this time I can't even ask him. Because even the way he comes in the house, he comes on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday is off. In the name of he's doing farming out somewhere there.
Ni farming, unajua mahali kwa ama ni...
Nilikuwa naambiwa, but I didn't want to know. No, na hata sasa nikijua alafu, remember I've been doing business. So I was expecting this person, when he gets rich, give me some money. I didn't need money, much more money. I just needed like 100K. For me, business, God has enabled me. It's on my fingertips. Anything. For a wise woman, you're giving anything and it produces more. For me, business has been, and I thank God I'm humbled. So this person, one day also, I'm also going to hawk in Nakuru. I've left him in the house because we are now not talking. I mean, Mimi, I'm just a house help. I have my 2 children there. So we go to Nakuru. And he comes, sits right behind me because I would hawk with my son on the back. So my son stands, Baba, anamuita nyuma. He's not even responding.
And I ignore.
And then even watu kwa gari pia wanashtuka, huyu mtoto kwa anajibu babake. And I can't cost a scene.
And what are your reactions?
Nothing. Mimi niko sawa. Niko sawa. Kuna time unasikia uchungu, unamnyamazisha jina ni babake. So what happens? Tukienda Nakuru, I think alishuka before mimi, mtoto akaanza kulia kwa gari. So people didn't know I understand Kikuyu. So wakaanza kusengenya, kwani mwanamke huyu ni baba huyu ama ni, because as we are not talking in that car, as much as huyu mtoto anasema baba.
Na akatoka tu na hata hakuambia mtoto hai.
So this time he's left us in Nakuru County. So from nowhere nikasikia amepata nyumba Nairobi. So hiyo nyumba anakaa, mara ana buy seats, he's the sister's place, he's not at the sister's place. You know, he's not even helping us. But he lives at the sister's place. Of which I've never confirmed whether he was supporting them or not and what he was doing. To date, I've never known the story because ilifika mahali sasa, he even invited me to Nairobi because sasa unajua pesa zimeanza kuisha. See me sasa, I was glad. We've moved into Nairobi. Si hizi vitu zingine 3-bedroom house iko full. Tutajua vile zitasonga.
Alizichukua tu kisiri.
Aliziacha. I'm the one who was moving the things. Usiku na malori za naenda highway nasimamisha lori. Ndio zinibebea mzigo. Unajua lori zisha drop vitu these parts of Western or something. So zile zinarudi empty. I was the only woman katikati ya madrivers nikimuvisha vitu Nairobi. And the money I'm transporting these things in zile vitu nime hawk. Because I was also a hawk. I would come to Nairobi, hawk, then go back. I moved like almost the whole house na vitu zingine zikabaki. Of which to date, hizo vitu zilipotea kabisa because we didn't have money. He didn't move them from wherever they are. I wish he even moved them to his home. Zilipotea hivyo.
Na nikuulize aje Lydia. Okay, mamako alikuja kujua zile shida ambazo unapitia.
You know, this time they don't know. They don't know until after nimezaa mtoto wa 3. So my brother moves in with me.
Mtoto wa 3 ni wa the same guy.
All 4 children are mine. I told him I was one person. I would not want to bring up children with different fathers. Huyu wa 3 kwanza amekuja with a difference of 5 years na huyu mwingine because he's threatening me he wants to marry and he wants kids. He's threatening me now. Why does he want to marry and I'm here? Can still give birth. Unajua mtoto alikuja na bado mtoto kukuja during this pregnancy. That was my worst moment in life. He never spoke to me during that pregnancy. In fact, he would beat me.
Na mimba.
Reasons zinyazi make sense. Just because a rumor has come out of the family, he has not confirmed.
What kind of rumors?
Hiyo tu stories za familia nimesema. I wouldn't want to go into that because, you know, family also I try to, nimesema kitu fulani. I'm trying to explain and that time, nobody in the family is talking to me. I'm bad. I've become their common enemy. I'm pregnant. I remember 2 weeks to delivery. He has not slept in the house over the weekend and he comes back around 2ish, 3ish there. Ujue saizo hiyo mimba nimepitia uchungu mpaka mnamp. Ushesikia uchungu mpaka uko namp. You're just there. He comes. When he comes, he passes me on the veranda and goes in. It's like, I mean, amepita kiti. Amepita kiti. So when I go, because I was now in my bedroom for my children's bedroom, he passes. Then when I go to bed after some time, nikasikia maji me break. So I rush to the washroom. Because you know when the water breaks, you can't walk with it. So I call him and tell him, my water's broke. Kindly call for me a taxi. He didn't call a taxi. He brought my phone to the kitchen sink and told me the phone is there. I'm telling him I can't walk with this water. He didn't. So I wait for the water ikaisha. Then I now just go wait. So thank God my sister walks in. So I tell my sister, ebu endo ite mtu wa taxi. My sister kaniambia, but si, kama kuna uchungu situtembe. That time I'm going to Jogoo Road, Makadara Hospital. Ilikuanga ni 20 bob, sijui ni 10 bob. Bora umeenda na pamba, gloves na spirit. To me, life was like, wacha ikuje vile iko. I was ready. Sinikuzaa tu. I don't care. So kwenda nurses wakinipima wananiambia, Ati now there is no pain. We need to go to Pumwani. Naenda aje Pumwani? Pumwani sasa ni kuchafu. Unasikia watoto wanapotea. Pumwani had all sorts of those. Hizo unajua kuna time Pumwani ilikuwa na stories. So I call my sister. Where are you? Kanambia I'm in Buruburu with Salem with my boyfriend. We are taking a drink. Kaambia mimi nimekuja Madaraka, Makadara. Na hakuna nini, wananiambia niende Pumwani. So my sister came, but mtu sasa amekuja hapa sasa. Kumbe when we left the house you joined them for a drink. So my sister anamwambia surely. Umeacha mtu ameenda hosi, and that's my sister. You don't tell me my sister ameenda hosi. Umekaa hapa unakunywa pombe. They stop drinking, so they come with the boyfriend. Thank God he had a car. He picks me, they take me to St. Mary's Yala.
Yeye mwenyewe atakuja.
Alikuja na hao. Sasa atafanya nini? Alikuja na hao, they took me to St. Mary's Yala. So when I go to St. Mary's, not Yala, Langata. So when they take me to St. Mary's Langata, I'm supposed to be induced. So nika-induced. So they left me. Nikakuwa, remember this pregnancy has had issues, fights, all that. So nimepitia a lot of pain. Mpaka now, it's like, hata hiyo pregnancy yenyewe imekuwa stressed. So this guy, they leave me there throughout the night. Kufika kitu 6, the nurses tell me, hey mama, let's operate you because we save you and we solve the baby. I was just asking them, what is they do? That's around 6 now in the morning. Nikakimbizwa. And you know, normally, I don't know whether they had not introduced the bikini cut or not, because nilikatwa tu, because I think because of the emergency. So I call him in the morning and tell him, by the way, around kitu 8, when I'm out of the dawa, I'm like, I call him and tell him, by the way, nimeoperatiwa, and it's a baby boy. He didn't come that day. Remember, the 2 children are in the house with my sister who is schooling. He didn't come.
What happened?
He came a day after because he was looking for money. And my sister calls me and tells me, Lydia, if you have money, don't pay. Let him pay, because we needed around 8,000. Ilibidi aenda akope, but I would have paid anyway. But my sister was like, no, let him pay. I remember they picked me with the sister. We came to the house. But coming to the house, life was still the same. Now I had to move from my bedroom to the children's bedroom. Thank God for the deckers. So my children will sleep on top, me I sleep down. Do you know all this time, hakuwa ishika huyo mtoto. Hata mpata analia hapo for almost 6-5 months. Now I came to realize kumbe alikuwa anasema mtoto sio wake.
Alikuwa anaambia kina nani?
Just relatives. You know their family is big. So you'll always have enemies and
friends.
Yeah. That time shopping kila kitu mpaka mimi ndo najipikia everything.
Na aliposema mtoto si wake, wewe ni nini ilikuingia kwenye akili yako?
Let me tell you. Unajua kuna vile mtu jijua. I know myself. So I was like, it's okay. But now this nilikuwa nakuja baadaye, not this time that nimezaa niko mshairie. No, baadaye much later. So I took care of that baby. And life moved on. Back and forth.
Ilifika mahali mkaongeleshana?
Of course. Si tunaishi kwa nyumba. Si mimi nataka peace. You know, narcissist have a way, at the end of the day, wewe ndio utawafuatilia. Narcissist will make you even apologize for what. In fact, they say, you are the one who made me treat you that way. They take every blame on you. Remember this time, no family visited me, no relative visited me. And they're all in Nairobi. Because their mom was around and unwell. They're all in Nairobi. Nobody visited me. But I still say, even if their brother made them not to see any value in me, any good in me, surely the human nature would not have entered them. To just say, so and so amezaa, let's go and see. This is our child. You get? So all this time, to me it was okay. Narcissists have a cycle. They are on and off. They will create a situation whereby you are now excited. And me, he knew, I love him so much. So he'll make me excited, say what he wants, what I want to hear and everything like that. But ananini tu immediately. He goes back to the same place.
Na Lydia, at all this time, ni yeye anapea watoto majina na anawaname after nani?
Now,
After
something
wazazi.
interesting. This my third born, I wanted to name after my father. It was an issue. I wanted to call him Baraka Maina. It was an issue. But the sister told me, in African tradition, not ongang'aniangi jina ya mtoto. Wacha muite vile
Atamuita.
So he won. Narcissist is either their way or the highway. They want to be on top of the games. I'm the man here. Aliwaita majina. But mdogo niliita mamangu. Because hata we parted ways when I was 6 months. So mtoto nikakaa naye peke yangu nini kila kitu, and I was like, it's done. So I had to call her my mom. So mtoto tukaka. I remember at one time I was traveling. I've been traveling internationally. So I had this business in Congo. And coming back to Kenya, I had 2 days flight to Kenya. I'm calling on a weekend because this other small boy had left kama ni mgonjwa because my daughter had gone to high school now. So this other small boy nilikuwa nimemacha kama ako mgonjwa. So kupiga simu nikamba kuna infection, mdomo, nini na nini. So I'm calling this Friday night. He's not in the house. He tells me he's in the house. So I'm like, can I talk to the babies? Kama wamelala. And I knew that time hawajalala. So I called the neighbor. Ebu gonga huko kwangu. Kuna mtu anambia huku kulitokwa saa 1.
Ya asubuhi.
Mchana. Usiku. Jioni. And the babies are alone in the house. A 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. I have 2 days flights. Because by then there was no direct flight from Kenya to Congo. So you had to come to Gisenyi through the border of Rwanda, then take Kigali, I take a flight.
Mbona hukuwa unaajiri msichana wa kazi?
Wasichana wa kazi wanakaa aje? Wasichana wa kazi under such an environment? Because even after that you will hear stories with the house girls. But again, it's common sense. I've left, nimeenda kuhustle, wewe kana watoi. It's not that I'm making you a house girl, these are your children. You get the point? So, it really makes me envy women that fathers are there for their children. I envy them. Wholly envy. If only my children today could have that attachment. We could have had all those issues and all that, but for the children, I wish. And every woman out there, that a father does everything to the children. Embrace that man. Love that man more. It's not easy to be a single parent. So the 4th born comes. And this time I'm doing well. I have cars, I have money. Kumbe also that one is making him feel inferiority complex. It makes him feel naringa judi kona pesa. And despite now I'm doing well, I'm not having men out there. I'm still coming back to the house. And even if it's sleeping in the night out working, I still come back in the morning. It's not that he didn't know my whereabouts. Even if I was leaving the country to go somewhere, he knew.
And he was okay with it. Ama ilikuwaga tu vurugu hataki uende.
See, now I have to that's how I tell you, so long as a narcissist, he gets the supply.
He is okay.
He's okay. Sintaenda, si pesa iko, nyumba imelipwa, watoto wako sawa, ako na shida ingine? Hana shida. I would travel. But he didn't have a problem with that. But he had a problem when I just asked some things. Like there's a time he wanted to live with friends, to go just party with friends all the way to Western. Then I'm like, these people are taking care of their children, their family, they have their work, they have everything. Why would you? Why? Nilinyongwa. In fact, my third born boy ndiye alipata sasa akininyonga kabisa. Ndio sasa akawacha.
Na sasa na kunyonga na hata watoto hata lea na hata hana shughuli na watoto. Then what
narcissists? They have no empathy. So long as they're okay. And no wonder to date, he doesn't find out whether the children are okay, whether they've gone to school, what are they doing. He has nothing to do with them. He never finds out. They have their own phones, but he never calls them the fact they have their own phones.
Hata siku moja.
Hata siku moja. Recently, my son wanted to get an ID, and given that they are from the border of Tanzania, my son needed to be done vetting. I didn't have his ID copy. I had them, but it had disappeared. I didn't have this ID. So my son, so when I'm going to for the vetting, I'm just like, I'm the mother going with the ID and everything else. So when you enter the room, they're like, hiya, these people look alike. So I'm like, who are they comparing with? Their brother is one of the commissioners. So kumbe that name, ndiliniokolea. They're like, hiya, how is your relationship with so and so? I'm like, that is his father, the brother to the father.
So ni uncle.
Uncle. Na hiyo ndo sasa iliniokolea. Ndio sawa akaniambia, by the way, because of that, and we know him is one of the commissioners here. I think he was somewhere on training. So hivyo ndio aliniokolea, so mtoto akapata ID baada hajapata. The fact mtoto alijaribu kumpigia mtumie ID, his phone was off. Do you know to date he has never even called and find out, because finally the cousin went akachukua picha za ID akanitumia. He has never find out today. Why was the son calling? So if these red flags, somebody can just notice them. By the way, let people not lie to you. At hivyo ndio maisha ukua, vumilia. People have different graces, different experiences. Whatever I went through, I wouldn't want somebody's child to go through. Nimekuwa na ma court cases, even being arrested over issues of business too. No single day he went with me to court. No single day he found out, how is it going? How is your lawyer? Yet I was married.
Kuna siku ulifika ukajua kama mumeolewa mkiwa wawili? Maybe awe alikuwa
hakuna wawili. But I know there's a day in that area where you stay in Jericho, there's a shopping center and there's a club there. He brings the girlfriends there. And when he's escorting the girlfriend, he comes to the house to relieve himself and then continues to escort the girlfriend. But we see also narcissists. If so long as you're supplying them, you're giving the narcissistic supply. It's hard for them to have somebody mwenye wata maintain uko nje, unless uko na pesa za or they have money. They can use your money to sustain another victim before time wamwachilie. So ilikuwa ni ngumu, hata even if you had relationship, hangeweza ati sasa to keep somebody. Yes.
This is so interesting. Mpaka nakosa maswali ya kukuuliza Lydia, and I know tuko na mama wengi sana ambao wako kwenye hiyo shida na maybe hawajaifikiria kuangalia the red flags. You know, wako tu mahali pale wamefungwa tu na hii mapenzi na ambiagwa tu ni upofu.
Si hata red flags. Si ati kujua red flags. Things that tunafikiria ni normal, they are not normal. A man is supposed to take care of his family. A man is supposed to love a woman as a woman submits. Tume overlook na tume misuse Proverbs 31. You're supposed to be submissive, you're supposed to do blah 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 blah, my friend. Respect is earned. If a man so long as does not respect you, if a man does not love you, that is already abuse. There's financial abuse when they don't provide, sustain. There's emotional abuse. You tuku kufanya when the through hizo traumas, nini na nini. Because, and okay, you can still compare. This other man is doing blah, 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 blah to the family, and this one is not doing this and this and this and this. You'll know. And some of them just tend to overlook. Hawajui ni abuse. Hawajui ni abuse. But wanaona ni kawaida. Si madhe walivumilia, si mamangu walivumilia, niko na watoto. Let me tell you, the reasons that you have that is sustaining you in that it's making you not to leave that relationship are the same reasons you'll die for. What if you stay in there ati watoto? Si utakufa acha watoto. And by the way, narcissists will never change for you. They will never change for you. In any relationship, even when you are dating. When I was dating, this man never even gave me even pocket money. Leave alone at a shopping, will have to buy you a shopping. I'm the one who has been remembering all the anniversaries, all the birthdays. He never remembered any of my special days. So don't expect him to change. That is him.
Ataka tu hivyo mpaka mwisho.
Yes.
This is so scary. Sasa tutawajua aje?
Just in the red flags, once you know about a narcissist, it's self-centeredness. Self-centered person.
You know, there is something watu wanasema redia, eti mwanamke akiwa na pesa ama akiwa juu ya mwanamke ako na malingo, hambiliki kitu, you know, ni yeye kusema, ni yeye kutawala. But sasa imekuja imebadilika that wewe ndio ulikuwa juu.
Yes.
Na ulikuwa unapitia hizi zote. Tofauti ni nini ama ni nini hiyo inaweza tufanya tuelewe why was it happening like that?
I think it was happening because it was a long time. It's for years. You know, it's a pattern that it's gradually inaenda ikigrow. Because kama ni kuchapa, it starts only with a slap, maybe a push, with a kick, na inakuja mpaka mangumi, mpaka nyaunyo. You see, if I had realized this earlier on, either ange change, because narcissists, when the traits are there, you can deal with them and just accept you have a problem. But when you go full blown, ni ngumu kufanya. But money cannot replace love. Money can never replace respect.
True.
For me, I was like, we are doing okay. We have money, we are having food. And it's like it was a cover-up. Because even at some point, he stopped now beating me, doing it physically. It was now emotional. Coming late, drinking up too late, just talking badly, bringing you down. There's no single day he'll tell you you're beautiful. Unaweza kumenda meeting, I may not be having the right English, but again, unasikia, hiyo kizungu yako, you know, he'll bring you down. Yani, narcissists have a way of, they have just to instill pain in you. Kuna kitu mnaweza ongea tu, and then you feel like, yani from nowhere tu amekuongelesha kitu and you feel, and again, also you should watch out. Most people that are hurt, they hurt other people. So it was very easy for me to hurt other people. I would go to place of work and just, I call it the garbage of the truck. Narusha tu, yani na deal tu na watu, wanaume, na deal the way I want, you know, even physically. Because you see, now I'm being hurt. I have to find a way of releasing this garbage. Until when I realized, why was I even fighting people? Okay, to some level, I need respect and I need boundaries. Kuna vitu utanifanyia. But again, during that time, there's a way I would instill it. I would make someone else really pay for it, unknowingly, that hii uchungu nile napata huko, so nakuja na imwaga mahali kwingine. So you get a woman hata amenyonga watoto na ameua watoto na amecommit suicide. He has nobody to talk to. It's good to talk about it. Find somebody, talk to somebody, tell somebody. It will help you. For me, if I was not talking to people and telling people my pain, I told family most of the time. I told them, but you see, until now when it comes to the worst, this thing has been this bad, and there's no point of return. I don't know. Because right now, it can never be corrected, can never be changed, because I made up my whatever. Because, you know, huwezi shina kidonda kila wakati. I better save these children and live with them and take care of them. Because they are growing. Yeah, one day they'll want to go and see their father. They'll go to their father. I never deny them. That's their father. I can never replace.
Okay, na kuna wale watu ambao ukipitia kwenye shida kama hizo, unageuza mtoto wako, unaanza kumwambia ubaya wa baba. Wewe ushaifika mahali pale?
No. Me, hata hiyo kuambia, I never, because tumekuwa involved sisi wote. We sit down sometimes, something just triggers and we remember. We laugh it off. But you see, for these children, it's therapy. It's helping them. Apart from these small ones, the last one, recently when I got the copy of the ID, so my daughter was like, wow, this is my dad, that's how he looks. I thought dad was brown, you know. For me, that's a danger place. for him. This kid does not know the father. He knows the father is there, but hamjui. But again, I wish he would just change and reach out on this kid. Preferably, and not necessarily trying to justify. But again, a narcissist will never find a better platform ya huyu mtoto kujintroduce kwake. But the other 3 children, they know. In fact, my third born rarely talks about him. You can never force a relationship.
Very true.
You can never force love. They will grow. They know where the father comes from. They know their father. And talking to them against their father, it's not talking to them against their father. They talk it out themselves, which is helping them. And realizing this was a mistake. Our father did this mistake. Our father did this mistake. Such that my son tells me, Mom, I want never to treat a woman in an abusive way. My daughter tells me, Mom, the things I'll have to look for in a man. Because even myself, I would never want my son to abuse somebody's child. And I would never want my daughter to be abused. Because I now know. And narcissist, there's so many. In the name of ni mkali, hiyo ndio weakness yake. Huyu hatakangi kuongeleshwa sana, hatakangi kujibiwa, you know. And we think it's so normal in the society. Yeah.
I know sasa kuna watu ambao wanauliza ulimanage aje kutoka sasa na ukasema ama uko still hapo hapo. You know, labda tunaongea tu lakini still
the
uko hapo.
first time when we parted ways, that was when I was expecting my last born, that was 6 months. Nilishindwa huyu atatoka aje. Because now I was doing everything in the house, kila kitu, nini. I just went to the chief, nika-explain ya chief, na chief akaelewa. So we went na tukakesi kwa chief. After kukesi, chief akamwambia sasa juu bado msichana ako na mimba na bado namsumbua. Why don't you just give space and just think about it? He was like, no, not giving space. We are parting ways. Wacha tuandikishane. We even wrote a letter and signed. We parted ways. He stayed like almost 2 years there.
Na mkiandika kwa nini hamkiandika mambo ya watoto as in take care of the kids?
Sasa ana take care of the kids. Does he have even an income in the first place? This time he's gone into gambling, SportPesa full time. Nimejaribu kumwekea biashara out of the country for millions of money, akaziacha. So when he leaves this time, he stays apart in Nairobi. Nikazaa mtoto, he's in this Nairobi. He never came to see the baby. He never bothered even to find out about the children. So family wakaanza kuniongelesha na friends, so muhurumie nini na nini na nini. He came back. Coming back, oh my, I think that was the greatest mistake that I made. It's still the
after
same old
mpaka
guy.
Kuandikiana
Kila kitu nini, he comes back. But this time you see, the children are even telling me, Mom, do you know that was the worst mistake you did? Because now they didn't have even a relationship. You get? Life imekuja, tunakuja kufinyiliwa kwa zuni mtu akiona station ya TV ni yeye anaona sio yani nobody else matters. It's all about them. So, this second time, I just decided to keep quiet. We argued over something and I decided now I'll keep quiet. Not knowing that is one of the ways of dealing with narcissists. When you don't give them the supply. I kept quiet. For 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Siku moja he just left.
Akajitoa tu. Ukinyamaza hata kupiga sasa.
This time, sasa unajua kuchapa hawezi because sasa nishajua. Yani, I think with time, alikuwa shajua you know, when narcissists realize you've noticed on them and they can no longer have control over you. Umewa disable kabisa. Yeah. So there's nothing angefanya. So and that's how he left.
And now you are single.
I'm single with my children, I think for almost 6, 7 years. 5 years there. Now, I always want to advise somebody, when you're dealing with a narcissist or an abuser, find a proper plan on how to part ways. Don't just unatoka tu bila kujua. You have to, kwanza lazima upange. First, it's not easy to live such a relationship. You've invested your children, your time, your friendship, you know. You don't think there's another man you can go be looking for, you know, watoto ni baba watoto. You know, there's so many things that are involved that you feel like, now how do I live? Jipange behind the scenes. Tafuta documents pole pole. If it's watoto, how to relocate them. How are you financially stable that you can leave this relationship? Every document find its place. Just be wanting to live behind the scene. Even if it's relocating to another country, look for the visa, look for everything else. Because really, I wouldn't advise somebody to be in an abusive relationship. Leave. You will die. Or even be desperate. You go into depression. You'll be garbage. So once you want to live behind the scenes, panga documents, nini, pole pole, kila kitu. The moment you are so ready, mpate off guard and live. Because you cannot be saying, nitaenda, wanapenda hivyo sana. When are you living? And narcissists or abusers have a way of controlling you and getting you back into the cycle. Like for me, with time, iliendanga tu ikiisha. Because now, I'm looking at the pros and the cons. What is this that itafanya nimpigie simu? Si ati kuna chakula analeta. Si ati ni end month atalipa nini? Rent, nyumba. Si ati ni watoto. Literally, there is nothing. Ni jina tulibaki nayo baba watoto. So this jina baba watoto, they can still look for him when they grow up. Or even right now, want to go and see daddy sawa. You want to go? Shika hii fare. And then, that's their father. But again, I have nothing really can make me call this person. It's not that I don't respect him. It's not that I've really overlooked. And thank God to him, he's made me be here to talk about it and help other people. We go through it to help someone else. He's important. Alifanya I became a mother. I'm working so hard because of these children. If I didn't have children, you can imagine what will we be fighting over?
Nothing.
But again, narcissists have a way of controlling and making you hanging around. Ata change, atakuwa sawa. Because I told you they're on and off. He needs something from you, he'll be the best person to you. Ni utaona sa huyu jamaa amechange or this lady amechange. They're also lady narcissists. But in men it's 90%, women it's 10%.
Na waka kuna semekana wanawake ndio wengi.
Hapana, wanawake they are not many.
Kampuni wengi ni wanawake.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Currently, what are you doing?
I do printing and branding. And I'm also doing international business, looking for funding of different countries. Yeah, and I also do international business. I work with Sudan, Congo, Tanzania. Yeah.
Have you ever tried to be a counselor?
I remember the first time we parted ways, I registered into Park University. Park University, I registered and, because now I wanted to understand, I looked for a counselor to counsel me. Because I was going through so much, I'm pregnant and all that. So this lady told me, but then Lydia, why don't you do counseling and psychology? Yeah, I registered. I did 2 semesters. But again, things happened. I'll come for another story. Something happened. I think I'll talk to you about it later, which is not in regards to this. Something happened in a way that I could not continue. So ilikuwa ni watoto ni watafutia because I became broke. And I had cases back and forth, so I stopped psychology. But again, with what I'm doing right now, I think it's better I just continue with psychology and getting to understand. Because I came to realize during my introduction to psychology, there's also childhood abuse that affects adulthood. From the age of 2 to 7, a child's memory is very alert. That's such that mtoto kimfanyia kitu within that age, mtoto atakuwa able kukumbuka. From 7 to 13, 12 and between 12 and 13, that's when mtoto you either lose on it ama utengeneze mtoto. So I'd want to continue with psychology.
I think it fits you well. according to me, hapo ndio mahali ambapo unafaa kuwa. Ndio umepitia mengi, and you are doing so well, by the way.
And I also want to talk to women. You're going through abuse, please just call me, let's talk about it. And I'm not here just to separate women, to separate couples, divorce. I'm not here to bring divorce, because God hates divorce. But this same God says, not the same God says, you should not stay in an abusive relationship and die. Christ died for us. You should not die for someone else. Yes. So anyone with issues, you need some questions here and they're like, now I'm having a case, a very close case to my family. This a lot. And I'm guiding and talking to him. And I was telling him, kill expectations. If you expect this, then that's what really helped me. I don't expect anything from him. Because if I had not killed the expectations, I'll be depressed, I'll be sad, he's not doing ABCD, he's not doing ABCD. Okay, once in a while you're like, he's not, even just calling, because I'm human. But again, kill expectations. So it's just telling this person, kill expectation. He'll not do it, and he'll not do it for you. Just focus and do what you want. And actually, I'm dealing with that case. So every other day, I tend to go and to go through it, the cycle and all that. But again, I would want to tell somebody who's been in an abusive relationship. First, just love yourself and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself in such a way that never, narcissists tend to make you feel you are the one to blame for everything. You are the one who is making this family not work. You are the one who is making things not work in this family. You are the one making me treat you that way. So let this person forgive him or herself and love himself. Because when you're also dealing with narcissists, you tend to love them more than yourself, because them they are takers, and you are the supplier. And you see, when you're having a relationship with this narcissist, they tend to cut you off from other relationships. They'll talk to you, they'll talk to people against you. Like for my scenario, I don't know how many people have accepted up to this point in their family that their brother was wrong. Which is hard. That is their brother. I don't know how many people to date can just say, Mama so and so, we understand you've gone through this. It's true. And then also self-gratitude. Just love yourself, what you're doing. Like today I've come here, I've had a talk with you. I'm going somewhere, I'm going to do ABCD, this and this and this. Just love the achievements you've done. And then journal down what you've gone through. Listen to other people, listen to other stories. Journal down, be able to identify what you've gone through. Just say, sometimes when you're out of there, that's when you realize, kumbe this was abuse. Kumbe this was this. Because when you're right in there, you can never notice some things. Another thing, lean into spirituality, church, or if you're a Muslim, whatever spirituality you're in, lean into it. For me, being born again and being in a family of church and having friends and listening to the word of God has really helped me come out strong. Listening to worship, being active, do church activities. You'll be able to do well. Talk to people about it. Find time and have fun. Myself, I make life happen. I create happiness. I have fun in my life. You go on my social media, I love doing things. And like now I'm doing scars, my scars, my stars. It's something I decided, out of these scars, let them be stars. I hang them around my neck. Scars are good, but let them be stars. Out of that pain, make something out of it. Yeah.
Well, tufikishe hapo. Na ningependa sana utupe social media zako, uko wapi, unajiitaje, na utupe namba ya simu, maana muda umetukimbisha sana. And I know nitamleta Redia hapa mara tena, maana tunahitaji kujifunza mengi. We need to learn more.
Because there are topics, there are different ways of dealing with this sexual abuse, this financial abuse, this physical, how to deal with narcissists with the children, how to deal with dating a narcissist, how narcissist, there's it's wide that people don't know. And I thank God at least I've learned about it. I'm able, even the narcissist on the pulpit, There are men and women of God that are narcissists. Yes. The other day, a pastor was telling me, Lydia, there is abuse in church. We only think it's submitting, but it's abuse.
Wow. Tukubalia tufike mahali pale, and we will come again with Lydia. Na tutakuwa tunaleta topics tofauti and especially hiyo ya sexual.
Yes.
Hiyo I think ndio imelalia nini kila kitu. Hiyo I think ndio hapo ndio inakuaga ngumu sana. Na tutakuja mara nyingine, kindly allow us tuondoke maana muda umefika mwisho, na Lydia huja tupea mahali ambapo tutakupata social media.
My name's on social media are Lydia Wangoi Maina. Actually my profile picture, I'm a very beautiful lady in a purple dress. And then I have a page that is My Scars, My Stars. My phone numbers are 0721 412157 or 0101 41 21 57. You can always reach out on me. Let's talk. And above that, I do printing and branding. I have a family. I have children that I need to bring up.
And they need to eat.
They need to eat. So once you get those kind of jobs, bring them on. Thank you.
Na utafurahia.
Yeah.
By the way, he is doing so great na anafanya kazi mzuri sana, I can tell you that. Na tutajaribu at least tukuletee some of the things anafanya ili umpromote. And may God bless you until we meet again. Aki Masai imetukimbisha, tumekimbishwa, tunaangaliwa, tunaambiwa sasa mumalize. Na kama hujaenda pale Play Store, enda mahali pale. Juu sasa watu kama ndio tutakuwa tunaleta kwa radio. Enda mahali pale, download Kenya Diaspora Radio ambayo kana jina Jeremy Damalis. Inakuja very soon na itakuwa inakuja one on one from Kenya. Sasa inaendelea 24/7 kutoka USA, lakini watu kama hatu tutawapata huku Kenya. So tutakuwa tunawaleta mahali pale. Unajifunza mengi.
And again also, I'm doing when I did my whatever my scars, my stars. I want to help women. Because you get so many are locked in there because of finances. Huyu mama anajua ataanzia wapi. Ama you get the women also who are suffering, wa mama mawatanisha na watoto. Ama unapata these ladies being abused but haezi toka because watoto mwanaume haezi kubali watoke na watoto. So I also need lawyers. I also need counselors. I also need people coming handy to support. It's not an easy thing. Because for me, really I didn't have somebody to hold my hand. But because I know what it takes to come out of an abusive relationship, I wish to help someone else. So, but again, what I mean, it's not easy to leave a relationship, an abusive relationship. You really need to do your homework well. Otherwise, atakupata ni unasikianga amekuua na ameua watoto. Because narcissists never want to be left. They're always wanting to be supplied. Sasa ukitoka na ndio supplier wake.
Inabidi ya kumalize.
Yeah, kumalize.
Usiende
kusupply mwingine. Ama yeye aishi bila.
It's a comma and not a full stop. Until we meet again, God bless you. Tupatane in the next episode. God bless you. Shalom, shalom. We love you.
Love you.